Hello, my friend. Today, I want to talk about a topic that's really critical to your health and overall wellness. And this is the topic of overwhelm or feeling overwhelmed and living in overwhelm for a long period of time. And I talk to a lot of women who are feeling really overwhelmed right now. And what this feels like is it feels like they're just treading water. They're barely keeping their head above the water. They're doing the bare minimum every day just to get by. So it just feels like the days are just going by without them really even knowing where they go. Or they feel like there's so much on their plate, they don't even know what's on there or how to even start removing some of those things on their plate. And when you feel overwhelmed, when you're in this state of overwhelm, it puts your body and your nervous system into survival mode, into fight, flight, or freeze, which is meant to protect us. It's meant to be there for us when we're in a dangerous situation. But in our society today, we tend to be living in this fight, flight, or freeze, the survival mode for really long periods of time. And I was reading an article recently in Positive Psychology where they were talking about what living in this chronic state of stress does to us. And here's what it can cause. Okay, this is from a January 2022 article and study. Being in this constant state of overwhelm or stress for long periods of time can cause high blood pressure, formation of artery-clogging deposits, anxiety, depression, addiction, obesity, and poor sleep. All of those things are not good. These things impact your health and well-being on all fronts: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So it is critical that we learn how to reduce that overwhelm, how to get out of this state of fight, flight, or freeze so that we can live in a state that's more calm, more steady, more healthy, and more supportive of our overall well-being and of our energy and of our ability to give back to the world. So before I go any further, I do want to invite you to a free class that I'm hosting this coming Friday, July 21st. It's free. And I teach 3 simple ways on how to reduce overwhelm in 5 minutes or less per day. So it doesn't need to be this big wholesale change in your life. It can start with just a few minutes per day. And this is what I'm going to teach on in this free class coming up on Friday, July 21st. And I would love to have all of you there. So the link is down below, and I encourage you to register today. And today I want to talk about one thing that I'm going to be talking about in the class, which is what being in fight mode means in today's society, right? Like, we're not physically fighting, but what being in fight mode tends to do is it puts us into this state of being irritable, of being agitated, of being snappy, right? So we might snap at our husband. We might get extra irritated with her kids. We might say something unprofessional to our colleagues. That's how being in fight, in this constant state of overwhelm, does to us. That's what fight means right now. It can also mean that your body is literally fighting, or your mind is literally fighting your need to rest. So you're fighting against what your body and your mind needs because you have so much to do and you just have to keep doing it, or you tell yourself that you have to keep doing it. So being in this fight mode is not healthy. It's not conducive to living your best life and to being your best self and to creating impact, that positive impact that I know you want to create in the world. So it's really important to get ourselves out of this fight mode. And in my class, I'm going to be teaching more around flight and freeze and a few other ways that we can get out of this state. Now, the most simple way to get ourselves out of fight mode or any form of overwhelm or stress is to breathe. And I know you've probably heard me say this before, but I wanted to remind you again that it doesn't need to take long. What I encourage you to do is when you feel this overwhelm, when you feel irritable, or you feel really tired and drained, is to focus on your breathing. Set your timer on your phone for 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. You can do this in the car. You can do this when you're waiting in line at the supermarket. You can do this at your desk. Nobody even needs to know that you're doing it. Now, if you're on your own and not driving, you can close your eyes. You can put your hands over your heart or on your belly. But either way, just for 2 minutes, just intentionally and consciously focus on your breathing. Just notice the air going in and out of your nostrils. Notice your chest and your belly rising and falling. Notice your heartbeat and just notice your breath. There's no need to change it. There's only the need to focus on it just for 2 minutes. And I promise you that just this one simple, easy thing to do will bring you out of that fight mode, will lessen that overwhelm, will lessen that feeling of anxiety or chaos or stress. So I encourage you to try this. Maybe set an alarm on your phone to do this every few hours, or maybe every time you get up from your desk to go to the bathroom or to grab a new cup of coffee. Maybe you can just implement this one small, tiny practice into your day. Or when you're driving, instead of listening to the radio, just focus on your breath. See what happens for you. I'd be really curious to know if this makes a change in your life. And I'm teaching 2 other breathing techniques in my free class next week, as well as 3 other simple ways. I'm adding in a bonus one there for you. I'm going to teach you 4 simple ways to reduce overwhelm in 5 minutes per day or less. So breathing is definitely one of them. But come to my class and learn 4 other ways to reduce your overwhelm, because it is so critical for your overall health and well-being to be calm and collected and steady and not in this state of overwhelm. So I'm wishing you a wonderful weekend, a wonderful week, a wonderful day. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye for now.